sejahtera. My name is Shinda Anak Perempuan Lap. My number metric is 271607. I come from semester 4. My course is development management. I come from Gogi student. First of all, I want to explain about Contruction Project. Contruction Project is the organized process of constructing, renovating, rebuilding like buildings, structure or infrastructure. The project process typically starts with an overarching requirement, which is developed through the creations of a brief, uh, feasibility studies, option studies, design, financings, and constructions. Constructions projects are typically on-off. That is a project team, brief, and finance and put together to produce unique design that deliver and a single project. Constructions process. The process of purchase begins with a client who has need for a facility. The nature of risk is influenced by this process of purchasing constructions. In construction, since the items purchased into produce, uh, there are many complex issues which can lead to failures to complete the project in a functional and timely manner. Project to recycles. The first one is conceptual phase, second planning phase, third executive phase, and last one terminations. The For conceptual phase, this means determine that a project is needed, establish goal, estimate the resource that the organization is willing to commit, sell the organizations of the need for a project approach, make key personal appointments. For planning phase, define the project organization approach, define project target, prepare the schedules for execution phase, define and allocate tasks and resource, build the project team. For execution phase, this one is perform the work of the project like designs, constructions, project, site activations, testing, delivery, and so on. And then lastly is terminations. Termination is instant in transfer of project product, transfer humans or non-human resource to other organizations, transfer for complete commitment. Next, I want to present about activity invoice during construction project. This activity was support a planning to be a success. So I give an example of this activity like construction supervisions, preliminaries, demolitions, excavations and foundations, consecrate the brickwork, finishes, MME work, internal work, constructions activities, variations order, progress payments, certificates of practical completions, certificate of business. All activity was important in construction projects because cannot miss, which one activities for become a great projects of a success project. Preliminaries may appear in standard documents, providing a description of a project that allows the contractor to assess codes whilst they do not form a part of any of the package of work required by the contract, required by the method and circumstance of the work. For demolitions, mean descriptions, breaking down or removal. The demolitions of a building is the process of dismantling a structure after its lifespan or serviceability by pre-planning and control demolition methods. For advocating or foundations, advocating is the equipment heavy task of removing the earth from the allotted area in order to make room for the foundations. Depending on the depth and hardness of the soil and terrains may need to be restored as earth is removed. M&E word in constructions refer to mechanical and electric system. Building surface are the system installed in building to make them comfortable, functional, efficient and safe, and might include for external work, the term external work describes any works carried out to the external environments of a building project. This can be work of functional or elastic feature. Um, Variations order. A variations order is issued by company to contractor as an instructions to vary the scope of the contractor's work. Variations may be changed, either increase or reductions in the amount, type, quality, executions, or schedule of the work. Uh, Process payments. Uh, um, Drawdown of constructions process payment is the process of asking your leader to pay your builder for part of the work that has been complete. Uh, you your builders may have already agreed to how many payments will be made. The gap between those payments, their amount and when they are due. For certificates of particle complete, the certificate of particle complete is a certificate issued to the contractor by the superintendent or the superintendent's representative when the work under the contract have researched the state of completions described in the general conditions of contract. For the lastly is a certificate of fitness. A certificate of fitness or COF is a document that certifies an individual organization as being fit or competent to engage in a particular work activity or industrial project. They are issued by government agency or through government recognized party. Who are the key players in a construction project? So these are questions. There are many stakeholder organizations in the architecture, engineering, and constructions AEGC industry. So here I give example of key player, the owner, employer the designer or estimator, like architect planner, CNS engineer, M&E engineer, and OS the contractor. So this the example of key player in constructions project. Architect as a key player of constructions project. The main or the functions of architect in constructions project is create design for new constructions project, alterations and redevelopments. They use their specialist constructions knowledge and high level drawing skill to design building that are functional, safe, sustainable, and aesthetically pleasing. Next is about um, uh, CNS engineers, or we know as civil engineers. Civil engineer create, improve and protect the environment in which we live. They plan, design and oversee constructions and maintenance of building structure and infrastructure such as road, runway, airport, bridges, harbor, dams, integrations project, power plant, and water and sewerage system. Next slide is about plannings, project and controlling. For part of plannings, project planning is a discipline for starting how to complete a project within a certain time frame, usually with defined state and with decided resource. One view of project planning divide the activity into setting objectives. This should be measurables, identifying deliverables, planning the schedules, making supporting plans. This part is about planning. What is a project plan? A project plan is a model of the process that the project team intend to follow to realize the project objective. It brings together a number of important aspects of this process, including its scope, timing, cost, and associated risk. The project plans can be viewed as a type of contracts between the project team member and another other stakeholder. It defines the process by which the objective will be achieved, and the responsibility is carrying out this process. Project plans also underpin a number of another key project management functions, including estimating and forecasting, options analysis, and decision making and performance monitoring and control. What the benefits of planning? It is more likely to lead to success and is more cost effective than a just do it approach. It develops greater motor understanding and more commitments to achieving the objective within the project team. It provides an early warning system so that problem interferes when there is still time to do something about them. Okay. Here I want to give 4 examples of key elements of a plan. The first one, products, activity, resource, schedule, budget, risk, assumption. Next is about project controlling procedures. There have 5 procedure in controlling lights, project plans, project implementations, measurements of performance, project control, and project updating. Next is about elements of project controlling. For example, forecastings, tools, budgets, milestone, and action plan. In conclusions, when we think about a successful project, we think about a project that meets the given standard, is finished in time and within the budget. These goals are indeed needed to be researched for a project to success in the eyes of a stakeholder. A TOS project must meet their cost, time, and quality targets. Broader success criteria need to relate to the project's primary objective, to aspect of this screams delivery that which provide the estimates benefit. The lastly, all the components like uh, planning, controlling, or key prayer and so on is the components that importance to um, success constructions projects that so on for me. Thank you.